Today, I've got a breaking news to share with you. Remember this story where I shared about a couple who went to America for a better life, where the husband sold all his property, resigned from his job, went to America, and he advised the wife as well to resign from her job when the wife said, "No, I can't afford to resign from my job. Let me go first to America and see how America is like." So you already know, I'm just summarizing the story on this video. When they went to America, America was not as easy as they think. They did struggle. And then at the end, just like a year, the wife decided to return back to Africa because she thought that abroad is not for her. And then she went there, she started a new life. She didn't resign from her job before she went back. The job was there waiting for her. And then she started working and she started building her own house. Whilst the husband decided to stay in America because for him, he thought that there is nothing for him back home because he has sold absolutely everything he has to go to America and then find out that America is not that easy for them. So I think it was shame that prevents the husband to go back to Africa. So that was the story of this video. So now there is a breaking news. So what really happened in America with the husband? So the husband gets the job, but he was doing multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Because remember, he sold his house before he went to America. So he has to work towards that again. If he will return back to Africa, he will need somewhere to stay. So he was working headlessly like a headless chicken. So he was having multiple jobs from one job to another, including night shift. So that's how he was living in America. He was just working from one job to another, traveling from one end to another, going from job to job. So things were not easy for him there. Cost of living is not easy for him there. So he wanted to make it up in life because he has already heard the story that the wife is in Africa. The wife is doing very well, that the wife has already built a house. The house the wife was building, she has already finished and she has already moved to that house. So he too, he heard those stories while he's in America. So he was fighting very hard so that he can do the same. Because currently what was going on at the end of that period time, the communication was not that great. So you will sense that the relationship is not there anymore. So I guess that was why he was pushing himself so hard. So one fatal day, he went for a job. It was a night shift. It was his fourth night shift, which he has just ended. So as he was driving, going home, he was very exhausted and very sleepy, very tired. I guess I don't know what really happens while he was driving. Maybe he fall asleep in the car because he met with a terrible accident where his car didn't collide with any car, but he hit a wall. How it happens, that's why I'm saying he might be sleeping in the car. For him to cross across the road, like America, they've got this road, cars coming here, like three roads. So how come he jumped all the way across from the side and went to the other side of the road and hit a wall? It was so lucky there was no cars around because it was early in the morning. He was just finishing a night shift. So that was early in the morning when he was going home. And then he hit the wall and he became unconscious. So it was passers-by now that called the ambulance, called the police. So they have to remove him from the car. He was hospitalized. So he was at the hospital for a very long time because they have to amputate him because his foot was injured. Luckily, he was still alive. So it's only the leg that got caught on the car. So that they have to cut it. So he became amputated. So after the recovery at hospital, so he was finally discharged back home to heal more. But due to the effect, because he has to use now a walking stick to mobilize around, and this has affected his job. The extra hours he was doing before no longer applies. So now he has to maintain on his contract hours, and that money is not enough. So that really brings a bell for him, because what he's working, the salary he's getting from his job is absolutely nothing. It's basically there to pay his necessity, that is paying his bills, house rents, gas bill, light bills. That's what the money is for. By the end of the month, everything has gone. Nothing to save, nothing to show off. So this really hit him harder, that no, I need to go back home because there is no need. How can I be staying in America working just to pay bills? Nothing to show off. And the worst part of it is there is no family, there is no friends to talk with. This has pushed him more to go back home. At least back home, he will got family who will come to sympathize with him. He decided to return home. So because of the shame, because the time when he left Africa to go to America, he has already told everybody that he's going to the land of dreams, the land of opportunities, that he's going to make it big. That's why he sold everything. So that was the promises he has already given people back home. So when he decided to return back to Africa, he didn't go back to the state where he was with a wife, where the wife is currently living. He didn't go there. So he decided to go and live somewhere else, another state, so that people will not notice him, especially those who knows him. They won't notice him. And in addition to that, the main reason as well why he didn't go back to his hometown is because he doesn't have a house. Where would he go to? And he is so ashamed to go and live with a wife. Come on, it's your wife. So sometimes, I don't know, I think pride makes us end up into a lot of troubles. So because of the wife has already got a house, the wife is living in a very comfortable life. And for him, he didn't made it in life as he has promised. So that makes him to go and live in another city, or another city away from where the wife and his friends were. So he lodged in a hotel, trying to see where he can maybe build a small house. That was his intention. He came with a little bit of money. So he wanted to try and see if that money would be enough for him to build maybe a bungalow or something where he can live. So he was living in this hotel. Imagine, hotel, you still have to pay bills. So you still have to pay bills in these hotels. And he has already acquired the land. I think he bought the land since when he was in America. So when he came in, he was just started building the project gradually. But at the same time, the foot where they amputated him, in abroad, when you have an accident where they amputate you, or you go under a surgery, there are certain times that you need to go and see your GP or see your doctor to do monitoring, maybe to check, do like annual health checks or something like that, checks for the operation, which, because he's in Africa, this was not happening. So he has totally, completely forget that he was still healing with the amputated legs. So he was still in the healing process when he traveled back home. So he was not seeking for any medical support to see if everything is going well there. So he was thinking, oh, I'm strong, I'm okay. I'm still mobilizing just with a walking stick. Not knowing that there is a rationale why they tell him he needs to go for checkup regularly, just to see if things are going on. Maybe checking if for any infections or anything. That's how abroad works. But to this man, because he came, because he thinks that he's strong enough, he's okay, nothing will go wrong. So he decided to ignore everything, to concentrate on the project of building a bungalow where he can stay until the rest of his days. So, not knowing that, the foot, he has already started getting some infections. Infection has already started spreading on that foot. He was feeling some slightly pain, but he was still ignoring that. He said, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm a strong man. I'll build my own house as well. His family, yes, he allowed the family to come and visit him. The wife, he didn't tell the wife where he was living. He doesn't have nothing. He doesn't want anything to do with the wife because they've already separated. And I'm sure it's due to shame. So going on, going on, going on. So there was a time when this man was lying down sleeping. When he wakes up, he couldn't walk properly. Even using the walking stick, he couldn't walk properly. So this hit him really hard and decided to go to hospital so that they can check up his leg. So he went to hospital because luckily they've got a good hospital there back home. So he went to hospital, so they did a checkup on the legs, and that's when they told him the legs has got an infection and the infection has already spread over. So they put him on antibiotics and also regular checkup. So he was at the hospital until he was discharged. He was discharged home with some medication. So he was on this treatment now. At the same time, he got the pressure of building the bungalow. And guess what? The money he spent on hospital, because you know Africa, everything is expensive when it comes, especially when it comes to treatment, healthcare. If you want the best healthcare, you have to spend, you have to pay for it. And it's not an easy money. So what he has already spent in hospital for those checkups as well as the medication that was prescribed for him cost him more money. And in addition to that, he's still paying for that hotel that he was living. So the money was going, but the money was not coming back. So he is spending, but nothing is coming back. That is the worst mistake. He was not on any business. He was not on anything that would bring income back to him. Only and solely he was just depending on the money that he came home with. And now the money finished. No more money to finish his house project or to continue paying for his hotel. So based on this man started owing the hotel. Weeks, months, he wasn't paying. But you know, in Africa, when they realize, they know that you are from abroad, sometimes you can tell them, oh, give me 1 more weeks, or give me 2 more weeks, or give me 1 more month, or give me a month's time, or this or that. They will leave you. They will still give you the benefit of the doubt. They will say, okay, because you're from abroad, maybe you will pay all your arrears. I think that was what the hotels managers, they were hoping, that he's from America. So definitely he will pay the arrears of the hotel. So they still let him stay. But this young man, so due to the pain and also no money at all and the pressure that is coming from the management team, this added more to his mental well-being. He wasn't well enough. And the leg as well is not properly healed enough, is not well enough yet. So the infection started spreading again. Since there is no money to go back to hospital and the body could no longer fight the infection. On that fateful night, as he was sleeping, so the tragedy occurred when the hotel manager went in the following morning to go and check, just to monitor, to request for the money, for the update, how we can pay. So sadly enough, they find out that he has already passed away. So they tried to wake him up. He didn't wake up. So they realized that he has gone. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the shame. He couldn't handle the depression. And he couldn't handle the infection that he was having on his leg. He was really, really in pain, but he wasn't showing that he was in pain. He wasn't showing to everybody that he was in pain. So this is how this young man's journey to America ended up in tragedy. Now he has passed away. So the family were informed. So it was the family now that informed the wife that he has passed away in this city. So the wife has never been to where he was living. And because of shame, he didn't come to the wife either. So this story is just a moral messages to everybody who is living in abroad. Abroad life is not easy. It can be very unpredictable. Some people will come to abroad, they will make it, definitely. You will see them go back home, they will build beautiful houses. And some people will come to abroad, they will struggle. They will find it very hard. So abroad life is 50-50. Some people will return back home with dreams, big house, lorries, big cars, while some people will return back home with some pain, those who could not make it due to the unpredictable life that we all find ourselves here in abroad. So if you're planning to relocate in abroad, make sure you prepared wisely and also mentally and as well as financially. If you have a property back home, please don't sell your properties. Please, if you have a good job as well, don't resign from your job yet. If it's a good job, don't resign from it. Go to abroad first and see how life is in abroad. If abroad is really for you, because abroad is not for everybody. Oh. Abroad is not for everybody. Some people come here, they make it, yes, with big dreams. However, some people come here, life will not end well. They will struggle. They will definitely struggle. So if you're coming to abroad, make sure you prepare yourself mentally, physically, and as well as financially. And remember this, pride can destroy what honesty could have saved. Like in the story of this young man, both of them went to America and he sold everything. Despite life didn't tell well whilst he was in America, when the wife returned back home, at least the wife was doing well. So if it's not for pride, he would have come home, come to the wife, talked with the wife, they will stay back happily and after because the wife was willing to have him back. If he would have just communicated with the wife, explained to the wife honestly what has really happened to him, the accidents that happened and what life has teaches him, he will have just come back and stay with the wife and the wife will have looked after him, making sure that he's healed. Even that money that he came with from America, he will have used that money maybe to cure himself while he's in Africa, or maybe even put the money into business. They will be doing the business, maybe join the wife because the wife has some side hustling business she was doing. While she was still working at the same time, she was doing side hustling. So if he will have come and joined the wife, so he will have used that money maybe to expand the business the wife was doing, or maybe even open his own business as well. Whilst the wife will be looking after him and he's got friends in that hometown that will be supporting him more rather than staying from a strange city where he doesn't have his close friends who are not living there. Even the family, they come and visit and then go. So that money he has spent on that hotel, he could have used that money for cure himself and also to open a business that would generate more money. Maybe that will have made him still alive because he will be mentally well, emotionally well, and financially stable if he has done that, if it's not for pride. Because this is not just shame. Like I said in the beginning, I said it's because of shame that he didn't come back to the wife. That is not shame. I call it pride. Because of pride. Because he didn't make it, but the wife made it. So because of that pride, he didn't come to stay with the wife. He decided to make it on his own, thinking that, oh, if I build my own bungalow, I'll stay there, then I'll be comfortable. So it will be 50-50. So I think that was the impression. But at the end of the day, look how it ended for him. So this is just a lesson to learn. Don't let your pride destroy your honesty. If you're struggling on something, be open-minded. Sometimes they said trouble share is a trouble solve. Because when you share your troubles, when you share your struggles, you will definitely find somebody that will advise you or direct you the right way how to go about it to eradicate those troubles. But if you stay within yourself, you don't share your trouble, you don't share your struggles, you will end up depressed. And that depression, that trouble will be eating you up, will make you become more stressed, more depressed, and at the end of the day, it won't tell well on you. So make sure when you're in abroad, if you're struggling, don't be ashamed to say that you are struggling, because you never know where help will come from. Because when you don't share your stories, nobody will come help you, nobody will come save you, because they will think that everything is glitter and gold, everything is rosy, rosy for you. But when you share your struggles, you put yourself down, you minimize that pride, you eradicate your pride, you will get help. People will come and help you. So don't be like this young man, but may his soul rest in perfect peace. I guess this is a story that we can all learn from. When you're in abroad, pride doesn't help anyone. Share your struggles, share your story. If you find values on today's story, and if this story really relates to you, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And also, please share it to someone who really needs to hear this message. And please subscribe and turn on the notification so that you won't miss out on any of my next upload. I'll see you on the next.